Welcome to Walk Talk Wednesday. If you haven't got out there to get your walk done yet, you better get out there and get her done. Whether you do it outside, indoors, whatever. Let me know in the comments, where are you getting your walks done at? You don't have to tell me like the location. Are you inside or are you outside? I mainly am outside. The weather's been so great that I can pretty much do all my walks outside. May not always be in the mornings, might be in the afternoons, and it might be in the evenings, according if it's raining or if it's not raining. But listen, today's topic is going to be about endurance. Did you know, I'm gonna read my notes to make sure I don't say the statistics wrong. You lose endurance by 10% every 10 years. You lose endurance. I think I'm gonna stop in this shade right here. Let me jump up on this picnic table so I'm not bouncing this phone all up and down here. Oh, somebody's been feeding the squirrels. There's peanut shells everywhere. Happy squirrels we have here. Okay, so for every 10 years, you lose 10% of endurance that you currently have. So think of the endurance that you have now. That means your stamina, your steadfastness, things like that. Think about where you are right now. You're gonna lose 10% of that in your years, 10 years from now. 10 years from now, you're gonna lose that. And already knowing that, that should make you want to keep working on your endurance now. This is talking about your resilience, your stamina, your tenacity that you have right now will disappear by 10% in 10 years. So where do you see yourself in 10 years? Do you want to see yourself maybe being as well as you are now or better? Or do you just gonna let nature take its course and just lose all the things? We've talked about endurance today. We've talked about muscle strength already. If you want to review that from last week, you can do that. But it's critical to keep your stamina, to keep your resilience and your tenacity. In other words, it's very important to keep your endurance, because already knowing automatically you're going to lose 10% of it. This is talking about your walking, your cycling, your swimming, your strength training, whatever it is that you're doing to better yourself for 10 years from now. You've got to keep it up, and you've got to endure. You've got to do more. You've got to challenge yourself now by being consistent. Consistency is the key. Doing it however many times a week that you promise yourself to practice your endurance, work on your endurance for a better you in 10 years from now, okay? Consistency is good because that gives it a gradual progression right there, okay? So you don't go out and try to do it all in one day and think it's going to be better 10 years from now. It has to be consistent, and it's gradual, okay? So I'm going to make sure I don't lose anything out of my notes. So basically, that's what I'm talking about physically for endurance. But there's a spiritual endurance, Christian ladies, there's a spiritual endurance that we do not want to forget about, Think about it. We do think a lot about our bodies and our health, which is awesome, so that can keep us going and to be the best as we can be for the Lord, to do what it is that He has planned for us to be on this earth to do. And we can only do it if we're physically well, to do it to the very, very best. So let's talk about that spiritual endurance, the ability to withstand stress, to withstand hardship and trials in this life spiritually without giving up. Okay, so what do we need to do to work on this spiritual endurance? Is we must have steadfastness, we must be resilient, long suffering, which is patience, okay? And we need to just resolve to endure on purpose. It's all on purpose, whether it's for physical or spiritual. It must be done on purpose. There is no magic wand or magic fairy dust that you can put on you to make it happen. You must do the work, okay? So How about your spiritual endurance? How do you strengthen that spiritual endurance? How about this? How about being in God's Word consistently, steadfastly, being in God's Word? And how about living God's Word? Don't just read it and let it go one ear out the other. Read it, comprehend it, live it. Why don't you get a pen and paper? And if you don't have one now, you can replay this. Get a pen and paper and write these verses down and look them up. This is where you can start. Hebrews 12, 1 through 2. 1 Corinthians 9, verse 24. James 1, verses 2 and 4. That's what I have for you today. Work on those verses. Spiritual endurance, it matters.